That sounds about right. Okay. Here's the deal. I get asked a lot, because this is one of my areas of expertise, about how to eat to gain weight, how to eat to lose weight. What is it? They hear me talk about I'm in a deficit. What they say, what the fuck is a calorie deficit, etc. So we're going to go over it a little bit today. I've got a few tabs open here. I'm going to switch to this real quick. Okay. When people say, we all see calories on the back of our food. What the hell is a calorie? Very simple. A calorie is a unit of measurement that defines the amount of energy contained in food. It is defined by the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 degree Celsius. It's just a unit of energy. Okay. People talk about, we'll go over the next tab that I have open is maintenance calories. What the fuck are maintenance calories? Here we go. Maintenance calories are the number of calories you need to consume daily to maintain your current weight. If you weigh 165 pounds, the number of calories to keep you at 165 pounds is your maintenance, are called your maintenance calories. Simple. So if you want to weigh more than 165, you have to eat more than your maintenance calories. If you want to weigh less than 165, you have to eat less than your maintenance calories. Very simple. It's just a measurement of the energy going in versus the energy that your body is spending. Okay? I guess we'll open up this one. Being in a calorie deficit means eating less. What is a calorie deficit? A calorie deficit means eating less than your maintenance calories. Oh, didn't give me the AI overview. AI mode, here we go. I guess, well, actually, I haven't used this. We'll see how good this does. A calorie deficit occurs when you consume fewer calories than your body burns. It's the principle behind weight loss, as your body needs to tap into stored energy reserves like fat to make up the difference. Okay? Very simple. We'll stick with 165. At 165 calories, you need X number of calories to maintain that weight. If you eat less than that, you're in what's called a calorie deficit, and your body will start to lose weight because it's thinking to itself, oh, we're just going to use arbitrary numbers. These are not numbers. We'll do the math here in a sec. It's going to think, wait a second, to stay at 165 pounds, we need 800 calories today. I know that's not right. It's just an example. Just relax. We need this many calories. But he only ate 600 calories. We need to make up for those 200 calories that are missing to maintain this body weight. Your body wants to stay the same weight. It does. So it's going to pull from energy reserves somewhere on your body. If you have fat on your body, it's because those fat cells are engorged with extra stored energy. So it's going to pull from those, and they're going to shrink a little bit, and then it's going to get you back to your maintenance calories. So if I have a ton of extra fat on my body, right, how do I get that fat to go away? We'll go back to the calorie deficit. If I eat at my maintenance calories, I will stay the same. I'm putting in exactly the number of calories that my body needs to maintain this weight. It's not going to go up or down. It's going to stay the same because that's how much energy it takes to keep my body at that weight, because that's how much energy or calories my body uses in that day. As soon as I want to weigh less than 165 pounds, I have to enter a caloric deficit, which means I'm eating less than my maintenance calories of my current weight. Simple. Okay? Some super easy ways. Actually, we'll do this one too. Got a calculator. We'll do the women's one as well. We'll go over this one next. We're going to go to images. This is what I was looking for, something like this. Great. We'll have that open for women. We'll have this one open for guys. However, there's a better one that I like, so we'll go over that. We'll go for that one instead. Men, I think it comes up if you just search this. It's 18 to 24. Okay, we're going to go Ultimate Performance, same publication as this one, because these are pretty accurate. Actually, I think this one actually has both. Fine, except cookies, whatever. We're going to leave this here for men. We'll do this in a sec. We're going to leave this one here for ladies. And we'll go over this one in a sec, okay? Easy. We no longer need this tab open. We'll use our calculator here in a sec. We'll go over this equation here in a sec. So, when deciding what our daily caloric needs are, I don't have a scale, so we can't do this part. That's okay. What you want to do is step on a scale. We're not going to weigh in all the fucking time, but we are going to weigh in at least to start up, okay? We're going to step on a scale so that we can get our body weight in kilograms. Remember, 2.2 pounds is a kilogram. Excuse me, a kilogram is 2.2 pounds. So let's go to my calculator. Let's see, I weigh 100. Right now I probably weigh 186 pounds. 186 divided up by 2.2, that's my weight in kilograms. I weigh about 84.5 kilograms. Let's double check our math. 84, what's that, 84.5? Yeah, 84.5 times 2.2, 185.9. So we're going with 85.4 as my weight in kilograms. Going back to this, I'll link this, peterbond.org, calculator RMR Cunningham equation. The Cunningham equation is just, it's an equation that takes your body weight and your body fat percentage and translates that into how many calories you need per day. Your basal, and then we're going to do the physical activity factor here in a sec. That's the next part of the equation. So we decided my body weight in kilograms is 84.5. My body fat percentage, okay, I can't test this at home. It's very difficult, but I can use this right here as a guide. Okay, definitely not 8, definitely not 40. I'm definitely not 10, not 15, not quite 20, not 25, and not 30. Okay, so I'm probably maybe, if these are accurate, we're just going to use these for this demonstration. Oh shit, you can't see them. Let's go like this. Oh, that's not going to work. Okay, great. This is what we're going off of, right? I'm definitely not 8. This is competition bodybuilder or hyper athlete. This is ultra level athlete. This is ultra level athlete. This is somebody who definitely goes to the gym. This is somebody who doesn't particularly go to the gym, doesn't go to the gym, goes to the gym, but eats, in a surplus or has for a little bit, fit, but has a little bit of extra body fat. Out of these, I'm slightly between 25 and 20, okay? We're gonna go conservative and give ourselves a little bit of some room. We're gonna say we're 23.5% body fat, because between this and this is pretty close to my body right now, okay? So we're going back to the Cunningham equation, right? We're gonna full screen this. We'll get so that you can see, okay, so we decided that my body fat percentage is 23.5%, okay? Apply the physical activity factor. Here we go. We're going to leave this blank for now. We're going to scroll down and we're going to read what that means. Physical activity factor, PAF table, okay? If you're in the category of very light, it means you're seated in standing activities, office work, driving, cooking, no vigorous activity. You do not go to the gym and you don't move your body much, is a 1.2 to 1.3. Low activity, or the category of low activity, in addition to the activities of a sedentary lifestyle, 30 minutes of moderate activity equivalent to walking 30 kilometers in 30 minutes. That's a 10-minute kilometer walk, or 10-minute, you're walking a kilometer in every 10 minutes. This is most office workers with additional planned exercise routines. That would be a 1.5 to 1.6 in this cell here, okay? Next would be active. In addition to the activities of a low active lifestyle, an additional 3 hours of activity such as cycling or walking at 7 kilometers an hour, okay, is a 1.6 to 1.7. A category of heavy is planned vigorous activities, physical labor, full-time athletes, hard labor professions such as steel or road workers. Great, that would be a 1.9 to a 2.1, okay? So we're going to decide from this chart here, which of these is my activity level, or my physical activity factor, my PAF, great. And I'm going to put the number, I'm going to figure out which category I am, and put the number here into this cell here, okay? So what I like to do, because it's difficult to know how vigorous your activities are, I pretty much just use very light for almost all of my clients and myself. I go to the gym 5 to 6 times a week. Actually, I work out 5 to 6 times a week. My job, I'm on my feet almost all day. and I still use a 1.2, and I'll tell you why here in a sec. Actually, we'll do it real quick. If I think that I'm a heavy activity level and I put 1.9, right, it's going to calculate. So let's scroll back up. Your RMR, okay? Your resting metabolic rate is your RMR. This is how many calories it takes to run my body, okay? 1922 calories a day simply to run my body. That's it, okay? At 186 pounds and 23.5% body fat, 1922 calories is my resting metabolic rate, okay? Next, so let's say for the sake of this first example, I overestimate my activity level, right? And I put heavy. Like, dude, I work out a fuck ton. I play basketball. I run around outside. I'm on my feet all day. Pretty sure I'm a 1.9. Pretty sure that I'm heavily active. And I put that in here. Now, this is what it takes to run my regular body. This is what it takes to run my body on a day where I had heavy activity, okay? This number is massive. That is if I weighed 185 and I was what does it say? Does it say professional? Full-time athlete. I am not that. Very few people are. It's very unlikely that you're in a heavy. It's extremely unlikely that you're in a you're heavily active category. This one here. Very unlikely. So, but imagine if I put that in there and I really thought that that's what I was doing, and I'm eating 3,600 calories a day, and I'm asking myself, holy shit, why am I gaining so much weight? But then you realize, okay, so keep this number in mind, 3,652, right? But then I'm actually a 1.5 activity level. I was eating 700 calories more than my body needs every single day. Okay, that's a huge caloric surplus. Now, we didn't go over caloric surplus, but caloric surplus is the opposite of a caloric deficit. A caloric surplus is when you eat more calories than your body burns. Okay, and that's how you put on mass. Let's go back to this Cunningham equation. So why I would much rather give my athletes this number, I would say, don't worry about your workouts. Just pretend like you're not, this is for clients who are trying to lose mass. They want to lose body fat. Great. Eat as though you're not an active person. That way you're gonna be in a deficit pretty much every single day, right? Because again, imagine a day where I accidentally was like, I worked out a fuck ton today. I was a 1.6 activity level. Right? I'm like, I worked out a ton today. I'm at a 1.6 activity level. And then I eat this. But I actually was at a 1.4 or a 1.3. That means I overate by 500 calories that day, which, to give you an idea, is 1/7 of a pound. So this day, say that I would have ate 3,000 calories this day, that would be 500 calories. I would have gained 1/7 of a pound in one day, right? So to me, it's too risky to overestimate my physical activity factor. I would rather underestimate my physical activity, because then if I go like this, this is actually what I do for myself as well. My resting metabolic rate, it takes 1,922 calories to run my body. If I want to maintain my 186-pound form that I've got right now, of course I don't, because I would prefer to have lower body fat, but 23.5 is fine. It's totally helpful. It's nearing it's starting to exit the levels that it is super helpful or ideal, which is about 14 to 25 is the healthy version, is the healthiest that we've observed. The healthiest body fat percentage for men is to 14% to 25%. You shouldn't be over 25% body fat. That's why I recently, this past month, went into deficit phase, because I was like, dude, I got way too much body fat on my body. I don't like how it looks. I also don't like how it feels, right? So back to this. If you're going to use this equation, which you should, the Cunningham equation is very good. It's very researched and it's very effective. So my body weight in kilograms, my body fat percentage, my physical activity factor. This right here is these numbers are what it takes to maintain my current body at my current level. We're not talking about protein. That's a different video and a different discussion. We're just talking about caloric needs in a day to maintain or lose or gain, right? Or lose or gain your to lose or gain mass or weight. Simple. This will be in, I will link this. It's such a useful tool. We can't afford to not use it. I would just recommend, okay, actually, no, let's do one more example. Okay, let's say right now I weigh 184.5 kilograms, okay? Let's say that I feel that's too much. Let's go back to my calculator. Let's say I want to weigh 186 is too much for me. I want to weigh 175. I want to weigh 10 pounds less than I do now. We're going to go from, this is pounds, we're going to go to kilograms. So divide it by 2.2, 79 kilograms. Let's double check our work. 79.5 times 2.2, right, is 174. So 79.5 is 175. We're going to go to 79.5 kilograms. And let's say I would very much prefer to have 2% less body fat. 21, because that would be this body here. Well, I mean, 16 is like amazing. But that's going to skew the numbers a little bit because you're going to have to be eating so much more protein. Let's just go with 20. Okay. Boom. 100 less calories. Or no, excuse me, just 23 less calories than the previous person. So if I wanted to get to this weight, instead of my 1922, I'd have to be eating, at this weight, to maintain my body, it takes 1900 calories instead of 1922. Very minimal difference, okay? I'm at a physical activity level of 1.2, which I'm considering very light because I'd rather underestimate it than overestimate it because of the implications that it will have for my daily intake, because I might mess up and I might be in a surplus on accident, and that's how you accidentally gain weight. You're like, pretty sure I can eat 2,000 calories a day. It's like, no, dude, actually you should be eating 1,450. And if you eat 1,450, you'd maintain your body weight. If you eat 2,000, you're gonna be gaining a pound a week, right? So you see that just this right here, I put in, let's say that I wanted to weigh 10 pounds less, right? This is now my new goal. And then this is now my new resting metabolic rate to maintain my body. This is now my new daily goal, which is, it's not much less. What is it? 30-ish or 40-ish calories less than before. Great. We'll get into macros another video. This video is just specifically about caloric deficits and maintenance, okay? If this is too much for me, I have to eat less than this or less than this, okay? If I want to weigh more than that, I have to eat more than this, okay? And then, so use this Cunningham equation. This link is my favorite one because Milo Wolf put it in his video, and his videos are extremely educational and very good. If he uses this, if Dr. Milo Wolf uses this equation from this link, it's good enough for us. Believe that, because his whole life is based on this stuff. It's not particularly complicated. It's a bummer that we didn't learn this stuff in elementary school because it would have been supremely helpful for a lot of folks. But I had to go out and teach myself at 14. Other folks went out and taught themselves at 14. I've been a certified personal trainer before. I've been a certified sports nutritionist before. This stuff matters a lot to me. It's a bummer that we don't learn it in school, but at least we have free resources online via YouTube, articles, etc. You kind of have to wade through the bullshit right now because there's a lot of goofy shit going on. But this is the biology and this is the chemistry of it, and this is what you should be focused on. Figure out your caloric maintenance. We'll go back to this. Figure out your maintenance calories, which is the number of calories you need to consume daily to maintain your current weight, and decide, do I want my current weight? Do I want it to be higher? Do I want it to be lower? Okay. Once you've kind of got an idea of what you want your goal weight to be, or your ideal weight, what you're trying to get to be, put that number in here. So say my goal weight is 80 kilograms at a 24% body fat. The body fat percentage, a lot of this will come from, you can diet your way to a body fat percentage. It's possible to do, but working out will help this substantially. So we're not worried about this too much. We're not worried about changing this number as much. So let's go 80 kilograms, 20% body fat, boom. This is how much it costs to run my body. This is how much it costs to run my body as a person who doesn't just exclusively lay in bed comatose all day, you know? If there are questions, put questions, DM me questions. I love this stuff. It's fantastic. Oh, you couldn't see. Oh, yeah, you could. I love this stuff. It's one of my life's greatest passions. Actually, let's do a few more examples. Let's do the examples for a lady. Okay, let's go 25% body fat lady. We'll do the same number, 23.5. So in between this and this for a lady, because it is the same. Let's go, because the body fat percentage, that's the difference. Up. What are we looking for? No, we're looking for, oh, my calculator, right. Let's say a lady's body is this, 25% body fat, okay? And let's say she weighs 130 pounds and her body looks like this, okay? So 130, because we have to turn it into kilograms. That lady weighs 59 kilos. Let's go 59 kilos. And she has 23.5% body fat, the same as before. 23.5% body fat, boom. This lady, so you always see, this is a great example, because you always see the people think that they need 2,000 calories a day. There's a very specific group of folks who need 2,000 calories a day. We just did the math. It's someone that looks like me. A 130-pound woman they don't have the same body as me, right? They don't have the same caloric needs as me. They don't have the same protein needs as me, which is, again, a different video. We're not talking about macros. We're talking about calories. So this person, this gal, to maintain this body at 130 pounds needs about almost 1,500 calories a day. If she's just laying in comatose, which is very unlikely. If she's somebody who moves around, she needs almost 1,800 calories. So let's take this 1,800 calories, right? If this person ate 2,000 calories a day, they would be in a 200 calorie surplus every single day, okay? At least until they got to a weight wherein 2,000 calories became their maintenance calories. But let's say that this person right here ate 200 calories a day, 200 calories extra a day, okay? 3,500 is the number of calories in a pound of fat divided by 200. They're gaining a pound every 17.5 days. So this person is gaining almost 2 pounds a month, right? Because 15 would be 2 pounds a month, right? So let's do this again. Let's go. We have a better way to do this. Let's go 200 calories, 200 extra calories every single day for a year. 365. Okay. This person has a caloric surplus at the end of the year of 73,000 calories. Let's take this number, divide it by 3,500, because that's how many calories are in a pound of fat. That person gained 20.85 pounds in 1 year. If you gain 20 pounds in a year, you're absolutely, positively gonna notice, okay? Now, of course, this would have started to fallen off because this person's RMR would eventually become 2,000 calories because they weighed so much. But this is just a reminder that, like, overeating or going over your maintenance calories is the only way to gain mass. And it also is deceptively easy to gain mass, right? I gained 6 pounds, and that's why I was deficiting, because I wanted to lose that 6 pounds again. I gained 6 pounds because I wasn't giving a shit about what I ate, right? And I go to the gym, and I have a job that I'm on my feet all day, and still I gained 6 pounds because let's say 6 pounds. So 6 times 3,500 calories. That's 21,000 extra calories. Let's divide that by 3 months. So let's say 90 days. Let's say I was overeating by 233 calories per day for 3 months, and I gained 6 pounds of fat. It's very, very easy. To give you an idea, 233 calories is a relatively small dessert, right? That's like you ate breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then you were at your maintenance calories, and then you had a tiny little snack. Like that tiny little snack is 6 pounds, or 6 pounds in 3 months, which is 2 pounds a month. There's no real reason to be increasingly gaining 2 pounds, because if you do, you're going to be like some of the folks that we know that are older that are very clearly overweight, very clearly weigh more than they should, very clearly weigh enough to where it is negatively affecting their health. If you weigh enough to where it's negatively affecting your health, that's what we're trying to avoid. And notice, we have not mentioned BMI at all. There has been zero mention of BMI the entire time. We're not talking about BMI. We're talking about body fat percentage, because one of the greatest predictors of longevity and health is lean body mass. The more muscles you have and the higher your VO2 max is something different. That doesn't have to do with calories. That has to do with fitness level. But the leaner you are, to a point of diminishing returns, you can't be a skeleton. But the leaner you are, the better your health metrics end up being, right? There's a phenomenal amount of science to defend that. So BMI, we didn't mention it because it's not a real thing, right? It's a real thing in that it's not a nothing number, but it's not the greatest measurement of health and a healthy body. Lower body fat percentage is one of the best ones we have. Lower body fat percentage and VO2 max. VO2 max is kind of like how hard can you push your heart rate in your lungs. Pretty much what a VO2 max is in short, which we'll talk about another time. So, questions, concerns, send them my way. I hope this was helpful. Use this equation to figure out your goal weight, your goal body fat percentage, and what calories you need to get to that number, or look and eat that, and you will eventually get to that goal. You can do a huge deficit if you want. That's what I do because I want it to go slightly faster. But you can, if you're eating at your goal weight's maintenance calories, you will eventually end up at your goal weight. It might take 6 months. It might take a year, right? But you will get there because your body will be pulling from your fat reserves and from the other storage parts of your body that have extra energy stored in them to make up for the energy that you didn't put in your body. They'll use it elsewhere, okay? Makes sense. I hope it was helpful. I'll chop it up. I'm gonna try to get it on YouTube. Gonna try to get it on Instagram so folks can use this as a resource. But the stuff that we just went over, you pretty much don't need a nutritionist ever again. At least not to decide your caloric needs. Your macro needs and how much protein and fat and fiber, things like that you need, maybe, but we're gonna go over that to where we're gonna try to make it so that after this video series, you don't need a personal trainer ever again, and you do not need a nutritionist or a dietitian ever again, because those tools exist on the internet right now. Don't get me wrong, I like that field. That's the field that I studied at university. I didn't finish, but that's the field that I studied because I love this shit. And I wanted to use it to teach folks. But if I can give folks, I would much rather teach somebody to fish than to give them a fish, okay? So if we can teach the masses about their caloric needs and how to calculate them effectively and correctly, oh my God, people's quality of life improves fantastically when they understand what they're eating, why, and how. Amazing. Why not give folks those tools? I'm not trying to destroy full industry's worth of jobs, but I do want folks to be able to be self-taught, self-sufficient, and not need to not have to go outside to find folks to teach them stuff that the information is actually pretty accessible already. Let's get that information into people's hands. That's the goal. So, hope it was helpful. See you next time.